So I'm putting it into practice, the camping gear, what I put in the van. There is no point, you know, saying you're going to do something without putting it into practice. So I've been struggling with the heat, and so far the only thing I've managed to do, which I least expected, was to do a shit. When you're in a hot climate, right, your shit's going to be all over the place. Stress, not been eating the right food. If I was in the wild for real, I'll bury that. But at the moment, I've got a hammock, which I'm trying to locate where to put up. I don't know whether they're being clever with this, but I'm trying to find a bit of a, you know, V-shaped in the trees to put it up, or two V-shapes at a sort of similar angle, and then it will go up. Otherwise, I may have to, I can't really do it here, but I might have to put some pins in the bark to hold it up that way. But this is conservation, and I can get into an awful lot of trouble if I start, you know, breaking laws. So I'm going to try and stick in conservation rules. I may find a place to put this hammock up, or I may not find a place to put this hammock up. Let's see how it goes. Now this area here looks pretty decent for tarp. I think I've got the string and the rope to attach it, and this is a good A-frame, which is probably how I enter and enter. We enter and enter out the thing. So I might actually construct it. However, it might be okay if I can shield it off a bit at the corners, but who knows? Might have to go at doing that. In the meantime, it's important that I might need to start marking out the marks. I know I haven't parked the van very far, but the probability of losing things is quite high. So if I see a twig, anything like that, I shall just place it against a tree so I can mark my route. So I'm now going to walk back to the vehicle. Now I found a real spot here where someone's actually physically had some activity. This looks quite a good area for possibly setting up a camp or something like that. You see, it's all been cleared, so I don't have to do any clearing. Now the thing what I'm struggling with is memory recall. So I've put the van down there somewhere, but for some reason I don't know whether it's a Western thing or whether I've been domesticated like a zoo animal for too long, but my memory recall is next to flaming useless in this environment. I'm going to improve this. I know this is a hawthorn tree, and I know there's ivy around it, and down there some type of fern or something I haven't identified, maybe ground elder or willow herb. But I'm trying to look for my van and I'm having no luck. But we do have a road in the clearing, so what I might do is make a mental note, do a few steps towards the road and recalculate it to the road. Let's go with that one and see how we get on with it. 12 meters or something from the actual camp. Now I'll put a stick there because I'm going to make sure that I can come by it. This is Breton Way, and I'm going to walk across this path and time it to see if I've actually gone the wrong way. I've got the feeling that I've not done the sun yet. Can't really see it in the sun, trees, but I think I was going towards the roundabout, which was the wrong way. So I would have messed myself up. So I'm going to walk this way and hopefully get to Airscroft, which is base. You can see I've made it back to where I need to be. The vehicle's parked there. But a warning, if you're going to do this tramping and get outside the weather, is number one is try to find your location. Now, like chess, this is a new game to me. I spent a good 50 minutes walking from there to that stick, trampling through all this wood. Could be a bit of a loss if you just go out without a plan. So for me, first thing I've got to do, prioritise and marking out the base camp. Because those, you know, that trick was a good place to put a tarp, but fortunately I put some decoys out thinking it would be easy, but it's not. I was in the Amazon rainforest and I think I need a good machete to actually mark the trees. But even then, I don't think I'll be able to do it on my own. I'm just not, or lost practice of doing it. As you can see, Mr. Bushcraft Man, or whoever he is, has found me the perfect spot. I've retracted to that spot, but I still found it very difficult to locate it, even though the road, you can see it, is over there. It just goes to show, it's extremely difficult if you lose, you know, an animal being in captivity or a human being domesticated like in a city, to actually, you know, learn these kind of bushcraft survival skills to an extent. I'm not an expert. I've just learnt from an SAS book, did a course in, what was it, Nailsborough, which was an SA. I'll show you a certificate later. But ideally what I've got to do is make sure that I'm not too near the ground, and I don't think I am. Right, got to find a nice toilet somewhere where I could do my bits, and more to the point, I need to make sure that I'm not exposed to the elements. These things come alive at night. Not sure, can't camp here, I know that, but maybe if I can use camouflage, maybe it's possible. I don't think anyone's going to come down here. Anyway, I'm going to stay down here for a while. But today, temperature's about 30 degrees Celsius, going to get to 35. Now, the alternate, well, I went for a walk last night down into the park, what's it called? Neen Park, which is in Peterborough. And I went there and it's sticky, humid, uncomfortable to sleep. When I returned to the flat, it was absolutely catastrophic. It was hot like an oven, no relief whatsoever of air, windows useless, laying on the mattress is completely, utterly useless. All I've got to do now is, because obviously a mattress is when your body's hot, when your skin cools down, your circulation, but your heat in your rises in your blood. So what I'm going to try and do now is see if I can put up a tarp. Now the wind is blowing this direction. Not sure where the sun is at the moment. I should know where it is if I tell you where it is later, but in normal situations I would have the sun. So I'm going to put the tarp up now and see where we get on. Right, so I've got a tarp up in some sort of way. However, you have to use your imagination when it comes to putting up tarps. For instance, these ones that you buy from the camping shop, I'll tell you the name because it might be on the thingy. You can buy some more eyelets. I've actually bought those which I can stamp around. Now I've put some rope up here onto the trees. I made it nice and solid. Down here I've laid on my hammock. I can, you know, get a reasonable decent amount of sleep. If I had the string, which is only preliminary, I will probably take this, probably pull this a bit further and wrap it round. So many things you can do with a tarp. It's just using your imagination. I've tied to the branches here. Doesn't need to be too tight, just needs to stay up. Now around here I put in some of those U-shaped camping poles. I think they're really good, especially because all you got to do is when you put the thing out the ground, you just wheel it up like. And down here I haven't really tied anything up here because you see, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Oh, this is a Euro. Oh, this is Euro hike. Now, Euro hikes, you've got to use your imagination with these. I think these, you know, won't last too long. I know this won't last too long. This is brand new, and this is going to get ripped pretty quickly when there's lots of rain hitting it. So I might get something a bit stronger. Down here I've done the same, and I've tied it around a branch, which is kind of okay. Now shall we go inside? Do you want to go inside my little hut? I think we should have a bit of fun. Right, so let's go in this hut into a bit of privacy. Now I've got this okay, and turn it round. Now this will hopefully keep the rain off it, and if I was really in survival mode I'll probably collect the rainwater. Now I've got my hammock underneath here, and ideally I would like it sort of like this. Drop the N6, and now we're going to go under here. Got the ivy on the ground. That's good because ivy will help assist with cooling the temperature down. Got my belt here, my keys in here. I don't really want to lose myself to the van. House keys, etc. There you go, keys in there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay on my hammock because it's a hot day. And let me stop the video. So here we are, guys. I made a makeshift hammock and a tarp that goes over it. Now I've got to defend myself against these creatures, so I will have a bivvy bag as some sort of protector. Now I'm going to be bitten under here, so I might need, I think I'm getting to the ground here a bit. I'm alright. It's not 100% comfortable, but I can always sleep out here for a couple of hours if need be. As you can see, I'm on my thingy. I'm sweating hot. Now what I need to do is what this guy's done. This guy's got a blanket. They've got some snacks, which I think are acceptable. Because look, let's just face it, there's so much rubbish lying around everywhere in the UK. You really aren't going to have any trouble with, you know, finding fire material. Starting a fire. Now I can't start a fire here. I know how to start one by bushcraft. I might have to do this on another video, away from, you know, the nature reserves, because I could get into trouble. However, what I might do to this, I might actually tie the thingy. It all depends on the elements. So I think I'm reasonably well protected. I don't think I'm going to have a CO2 problem. It's the insects that are attacking my legs. They seem to itch a little bit. So I'm aware of what comes out in the evenings, and the creepy crawlies. So I might have to put some protection on my skin. So here I am. I've got a reasonable path to the road, which I can get back to the base. I have tried laying some decoys to get back from the woods, but that's probably something I'm gonna have to spend some time out there getting familiar with the surroundings. The remote controlled TV, for instance, is a bit of a couch potato leisure time. Watch my other videos about the heat whilst in Queensgate, and just observe what people do on their phones and how they interact with one another. You see, we've got stupidity against survival. This isn't easy. This is something completely different. But you see, whilst putting this up, it's about 31 degrees and my skin's a little, I could do with a wash. Now, there's no water hole around here, so if I get sweaty, my skin is going to struggle. So I might need to bring with me some, you know, some soaps just to wash me down and keep everything off. I need to get some repellent for the insects. I need to get some clothing. I need to find a toilet somewhere. Well, I'm not staying here for the night, by the way. And anything to get myself nice and clean. I'm off the ground, which is good, so I'm not going to be attacked. However, I'm not sure what's going to come down on the branches, whether I might get attacked or something with insects. That's neither here or there. The rest of the stuff's in the car. There's quite a lot I need to go through before I really do it for real. As you can see, I really want to get the hell out of the UK, and if you follow my other videos, you will get a glimpse and understanding of what I'm trying to do. Anyway, if I was going to leave the UK, I probably may have to stay in some of these sorts of places, which are, you know, this. Now these, I don't think if I can use these full time, like the hammer, aren't really going to last 5 minutes. A lot of this camping gear they sell is just for show. But even the rope up there is just, you know, threading or something like that. But at least I've got some sort of idea what to do when it gets too hot. Now, finding this place was quite difficult. So what I'll do now is I will try and head back to town in the right direction. Now I'll have to go to the road again because again my memory for decoys is shit. I've got to sort of learn. Maybe I'm going to have to hang up some, maybe I'm going to have to collect some rubbish and attach it to the trees or something, just to, good idea, eh? But you know, I'm going to get disorientated pretty quickly. I'm just not used to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it down, fold it all up and go back to the car. An interesting observation with this tarp, I know I didn't put the cane in it, but the thing is with these manufacturers, a lot of what they produce and sell to you is just standard. They're there to make money. But the thing is, you've got to use your imagination when it comes to camping or bushcraft, whatever. You can always put some more holes in there and put some more threads. So in theory, they've given me some of these, like, you know, the structures here, which are in this bag. Right, you know what I'm talking about. and they give you some metal pegs. But remember, if you're going for long distances, they are heavy. Use the natural material around you. You can find plenty of ties, etc., that would do the job. So back in the vehicle, what would I take into that rucksack with me onto the thing? Certainly nowhere near the amount of gear I've got, but I just pull it all in as and when. So what I'll probably do is take all that, put it in this rucksack. I may have to redesign this rucksack so I can, you know, tailor it to my own needs. Quite a lot to do, quite exhausting, quite adventurous. I'm off into the population now, which I should feel, you know, safe, secure and timid and snowflakey. See you on the next video. The temperature is 32 degrees and I am getting bitten around the ankles. If you can see it, but they are worse than it looks. Now make sure when you leave the site, don't leave any real estate. Right, in other words, litter. Not like these, you know, cretins. Right, so I'm going to make my way to the road, and this is one example of what I've done. I put some branches down on the ground, and my mission now is to lead all the way to the road. As I am a beginner, I'm not a I've made it simple, so the simpler the better. If you've got a knife, hit the trees if you're not in the UK, but you know, just follow the path. I've laid some twigs here to get me back to base. All these down here are clues. Methodically laid these as identity. Mind you, every so now and again I've got to turn round and have a look. Don't know, every 5 to 10 steps forward, just turn around, look at your base and get going. I've made it quite clear now, so I'm taking the easiest route, which you should all be doing, unless of course you've got an enemy. So I'm going to walk away back to Dace. Now I know I'm back to the road. I should hopefully get the stick to say that this is where I came out of and this is where I came in. So here we are. Now all I've got to do now is walk to the vehicle. We turn it around. You can see my face here. I haven't got my stick, but it's 32 degrees. Very, very hot. But in the woods, it's a lot more chilled. If it's a hot day in the UK, you can come to and chill out. Bring out, I don't know, bring some snacks, do a bit of work, or you know, just get a hammock and relax. It's quite simple. Down by the main road, don't make a nuisance of yourself with X, Y and Z around housing estates, you know what I'm talking about. And let's just go down the vehicle. Now if I put those pegs out, it would have taken me a long time. So we've got cowslip here, we've got northern burdock, and some of these are edible and some of these are not. This one is called Cynthia, which is yellow flowers. Most of these are poisonous. Not sure about the burdock. Got hawthorn, and you've got eucalyptus trees. I don't know what they are, not so good on trees. So I'm just moving all the way around here. Study your wildlife, study your plant life, and you enter these sorts of locations. See, that's a housing estate there. That's Fletton brick, which is actually impossible to sleep in under a heat wave. Yesterday's tutorial taught me about that. Now to see you in the next part.